Hi, this is Steve. As many of you know, Susan recently had a second bout of cancer and had to have part of her tongue removed, as well as her lymph nodes. Following her latest surgery, we decided to celebrate. This was on the 17th, and it was Paul's idea to go ahead and go to 17 Mile Drive. We decided to go the road less traveled and see all parts of 17 Mile Drive, including those parts that you don't normally see. I call that the road less traveled, with apologies to Robert Frost. Join us, but we go in sequence at all 17 parts or points of interest along 17 Mile Drive. Hope you enjoy it. Thank you. And thanks for watching. A Raft of Wandering Otters. Originally shot all in one day, we presented each of the 17 points on 17 Mile Drive over short videos for each point, presented over 17 days. So I've gone ahead and consolidated all the videos and put them together with a little more production value than before, and I will apologize right now for the shaky camera work. Okay, so you think you know 17 Mile Drive, but actually most people, when they drive 17 Mile Drive, the only part they see is this part that goes along the beaches and the waterfront. And then they end up at the lodge, and then in Carmel, and then they call it a day. But actually, we did something a little different today, and we came in up here at the top of this hill. This is a hill here. We're at the very top, and we're at spot number 1, Shepherd's Knoll. So I'll close in on that for you. All right, guys. So what do you have to say to our watchers?
Everybody have a great day.
Yeah, this is we are celebrating. This is the day after Susan's surgery. She's already got a Pescador bout, and I'll let you see a little bit of it. Let's not gross him out too much, I guess. But she's in no pain and had her lymph nodes removed.
And I was going to drink it.
Yeah. They don't need to know that.
Yeah. So let's get out of the car. Join me. We're up here at the top of a hill that Pacific Grove sits on. And you can see little peaks of the bay there. I'm going to raise the camera for you. And it's a pretty nifty little view here. Not anything totally out of the ordinary. So Shepherd's Knoll offers a unique elevated look looking down on Monterey Bay. It's named after local railroad man Abraham D. Shepherd, who also built the upper scenic route on 17 Mile Drive in the forest. Now you see the highway, the road traffic you see up there, that's Highway 68, and going in that direction goes on into Pacific Grove, on down to Asilomar, and some of the other gates where you can enter 17 Mile Drive. And of course, there's the star of the show, the bay itself. Well, hope you're enjoying this. We'll see you in the next one. A Raft of Wandering Otters. Oh, and by the way, go Bears! All right. Hey, Susan, what was your favorite cartoon when you were growing up?
You know, I had so many of them. I'm going to say Used to watch Bugs Bunny a lot.
Bugs Bunny. Yeah, I like Top Cat.
Oh, Top Cat was really
Yeah.
good. Yeah.
Let's see what else. Mighty Mouse. And
I loved.
and then having some southern roots myself, not living in the South, but having family from the South. I always enjoyed Huckleberry Hound.
Huckleberry Hill. And here we are in Huckleberry Hill.
That's right. Let's show them. Huckleberry Hill. Right there.
Let's pick each one.
Now I looked huckleberries up because I wasn't familiar with what, and they're supposed to be like large, dark blueberries.
Mm.
And in taste they may be tart with a similar to that of a blueberry.
Okay. Well, that's where we were in our last one that we that you hopefully saw yesterday, and then here's where we are today. We're still up at a pretty high elevation, but anyway, here we are at Huckleberry Hill. I'm going to get out and show you a few of the views here. I think the thing that stands out most about Huckleberry Hill is the view, of course, because you actually have the open, we're out of the bay here, so that's the whole Pacific Ocean that you see in the past there. And it's also stop number 2 on 17 Mile Drive if you're following the sites in sequence. And it's just stunning. You can even hear some of the ocean down there, but you also have a combination of the pines and the ocean, and it's just stunning. You know, I feel like I'm up in the Sierra Nevadas, yet there's the ocean. Kind of the same feel sometimes you get when you go to Lake Tahoe. Just beautiful. So take in this treetop level view at Huckleberry Hill where you can see Santa Cruz in the distance. So I'm going to point out Santa Cruz is kind of beyond that tree there. The Huckleberry-filled hills, which have been set aside as a permanent preserved forest, were rumored to be frequented by writers Robert Louis Stevenson and John Steinbeck. And why wouldn't they? What a great little treasure this is. All right, I'm your Huckleberry Hill, folks. All right, wandering otters, here we are. Day at the, well, Spanish Bay. There are 17 different spots on 17 Mile Drive. Is it 17? I forget.
We won't get
Anyway.
that many.
Maybe not. All right, so what do you have to say, guys?
Hi everyone, I hope you're having the nicest day as we are.
Some thought the Spanish acquisition might be too tough for politics.
Yeah.
I better explain that. Paul's gotten into Monty Python. The spam routine skit was a gateway for him, and now he's getting into all kinds of Monty Python humor. So he just did the Spanish Inquisition. Google it, but anyway, if you're a Monty Python fan, you'll recognize that. All right, spin at Inish Bay, Spanish in, or this is Spanish Bay. The inn is to our left, and the bay is to our right. Okay. I'm going to go out and show you a little bit here, let you see the sights and sounds, and let you know this is it. And by the way, over that way is Monterey Peninsula Country Club. All right, so here we are at Spanish Bay. A lot of surfers like it here. It's pretty cool waves, so they pay their money and come on in here and surf the bay. The inn at Spanish Bay. From the Spanish to the inn. The small bay before you is Spanish Bay, named for Spanish explorers of this area. During the winter of 1769, a group led by Gaspar de Portola, governor of Lower Baja California, camped near here. They were looking for Monterey Bay, but on that particular trip never found it. On a trip the following year, they discovered their mistake. The boardwalk is a part of a Pebble Beach walking trail. Oh, so this boardwalk that you see right here, right? That boardwalk, handicap accessible, so that's good. The same line that I drew when I was up at Huckleberry Point, I would draw that, and I could probably just see Huckleberry Point somewhere up there on that hill. That's where we were. So here's Pebble Beach, and by the way, yeah, this is robber baron land. And here we are at number 3, the inn at Spanish Bay, or Spanish Bay. And then there's the inn. And then there's Monterey Peninsula Country Club. And there you go.
Journey waiting to start. Imagine us going far. 'Cause they couldn't change that, my love. Life has only begun. Our feet were fashioned around.
All right.
Everyone.
Bye, everyone.
We are at 2 joined points here right next door. One is the Restless Sea.
And it doesn't go to sleep.
The sea never sleeps. Just like Rust and New York City. And I am
Who's Russ?
Rust. That's an old saying. Rust never sleeps.
I never heard that.
Yeah, so make the most of your life.
I see.
Maybe that was just Neil Young. I don't know. All right, so here we are at Restless Sea. Right next door is Point Joe. And here's what we're looking at right now.
Choppy waves.
Just really dramatic. Yeah. Although you can see stuff like this for free at Point Pinos, near Sea Lamar, and all that. Yeah. Yeah. So, whatever you do, get in my shop.
Yeah. Red shirt.
All right. So let me show you where we are on the map here. Oop. That map is upside down. All right. So here we are. We were at Spanish Bay in the previous installment. Okay, so here we are. We're at Restless Sea, parked here, seeing all this drama. Restless Sea. And then right next door is something called Point Joe. Here we go. May be hard for me to talk at some of these spots here, but we'll see what I can do. Howdy. So you can see Spanish Bay over there is a Sea Lamar. Oh, go ahead, man. The Restless Sea. The Restless Sea earns its name from one of the most turbulent sections of coastline in Pebble Beach. Waves are constantly converging and crashing into each other, likely caused by submerged rocks. Man, that is dramatic. There's no question about it.
Love let the baby cry in the dead of night. Sometimes throws a punch, sometimes throws the fight. Love make the jailer pay a visit to the judge. Love give that envelope a nudge.
On a foggy night in 1896, the iron-hulled St. Paul slammed into submerged rocks. The crew and livestock cargo were rescued immediately. After 3 months on the rock, the St. Paul sank. 10 years later, The Celia, steaming from Santa Cruz to Monterey, became lost in fog and hit these rocks. Her crew and passengers escaped, but the cargo of lumber spilled into the sea. Today, accurate nautical charts and electronic navigation equipment help captains avoid disaster. Yeah, I guess this is kind of a shipwrecked rock.
Presses grapes to wine, torches the earth after the harvest time, cuts to the bone just to save another breath. Love ain't afraid of a mess. Love ain't afraid of a mess.
I didn't know that. They don't have waterproof feathers, so after diving underwater for fish, they must dry their feathers in the sun. Interesting. I don't know if this is somebody's idea of a laugh or what, but I can see a little, it almost looks like a putting green or a tee. Let's see. Let's see what the story with that is. Point Joe. Early mariners mistook Point Joe is the entrance to Monterey Bay, making it the site of many shipwrecks. In the early 1900s, a man named Joe lived in a driftwood hut here, selling trinkets to tourists and tending goats. It is debated whether Joe was named for the point or the point was named for Joe. Well, that's a good little local bit here. And I don't know if you can see, but I guess that is part of the golf course here. Wow. Not a gag at all.
Find it hard to turn off the emotion, but life has taught me well. Priorities change when your heart is bound. We're on the verge of losing our minds. Take the time to grow. It's the essence of it all. Unravel your fears, dry your tears.
This is really interesting. I guess if you're a real pro, here's the ladies' tee, there's the amateur tee, and then if you're a real pro, you go ahead and tee off from there. I don't know. Wow. Here we are at Point Joe. Can you imagine golfing out there? Gee whiz.
It's just you and me, baby, please. You keep me breathing. My heart won't hold back. It's trusting everything. It's trusting everything. The devil can knock all he wants. We're not answering. I'll tell him to get in line. We're busy dreaming. We're busy dreaming. It's all we know. We're busy dreaming. It's all we know. We're busy dreaming. It's all we know.
Hey, a raft of wandering otters. Now we're at Point 6.
China Rock.
China Rock. And I know you and I was wondering until I just researched it. I basically read the map they give you when you enter a 17-mile drive. But do you know why it's called China Rock? Do you? All right. Here we go. And you know what? I don't know how many times we've been given this map, but this is the first time I'm actually reading it.
Oh.
But China Rock was the site of a small Chinese fishing village.
Really?
Now, how do you make a village right here? And what do you do for water? And that's just crazy.
That's
But
a good question.
there are picnic tables here as well. So here you go. So in the previous one, we were at Point Joe and Restless Sea. So I called that the Restless Joe.
The Restless Joe.
That was the previous one. Today we're at Point 6, China Rock. Okay? And isn't that fascinating, the little bit of history about it? Now, honestly, all these times I've gone by China Rock here, I thought, oh, okay, well, it must be a rock that looks like China, or something China, like a pagoda maybe, or...
We're busy dreaming, it's all we know. 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 We're busy dreaming. We're busy dreaming. Nothing can ever change the way I feel about you. I promise I will stay forever close to you. We go together, it's all I know. Side by side is how we grow, hand in hand. Through these times we'll fall and rise. Funny how you can open up the gray sky with only one of your sweetest smile. We go together, it's all I know. Side by side is how we grow, hand in hand. Through these times we'll fall.
Wandering Otters, and this is part 7 of our 17-mile drive series. And
I'm flopping my arms like a bird.
Oh,
Or should I say, dirty bird?
a dirty bird. Tell us a little bit more about the dirty birds.
Atlanta Falcons.
The Atlanta Falcons are nicknamed the Dirty Birds. All right, so Paul is going to go ahead and read to you about Bird Rock here.
This wildlife hub is buzzing with birds, harbor seals, and barking sea lions. Bird Rock was actually covered 4 to 5 feet of pelican and cormorant guano.
Guano, that's poop. So they're covered in 4 to 5 feet of bird poop.
Till 1930, when it was harvested as a fertilizer. Sea lions took advantage of the clean-up perch and have been sunbathing there ever since.
Alright. Okay, so there is Boyd Rock. Right there.
What a rush!
Indeed. Oh, look at Pixie.
Oh, I
There he is.
video
there's a bunch
on.
of them around.
Sorry. Video was on.
That's all right. And nice thing about Bird Rock here is, and this is where we like to picnic, and that is what we're going to do next. So put that on your list. Point 7 here. Bird Rock is a great place to picnic because there are bathrobes
There.
and picnic tables. Yeah,
And a beautiful view.
surely. Yeah. Here's a beautiful woman, got out of surgery and is enjoying a beautiful view. All right.
seed in a garden. You will grow to be tall, staring out over miles of land without it, but wanting to build up walls. Lift me up in your branches, we can watch the sunrise. Just a couple of bruised up souls that believe that it was worth one more try. With every star, we are born again. Open your heart and spend less time in your head. With every star, we are born again. Open your heart and spend less time in your head.
Raft of Wandering Otters, and we are at point 7, Seal Rock.
Let's say 8.
Point 8, sorry. Point 7 was Bird Rock.
Bird Rock, yeah.
Right. So here at Seal Rock, you'll never guess why it's named Seal Rock.
Seals.
How'd you know?
Because there are seals hanging out, or it's shaped like the rock is shaped like a seal.
I think it might be a little bit of both, because if you use your imaginations like looking at clouds, some of these rocks out here can look like seals. All right. So
I
yes.
can think of- Guess what?
What?
Guess what, Dad?
What?
You want to go to Liverpool to see the Merseyside Derby?
I hadn't really planned on it, but it sounds like fun.
I'll tell you when the next Merseyside Derby is.
Well, thank you. All right, I'm going to go ahead and walk this around and let everybody see it, but we are on our map here, we're at Bird Rock, and that's where the bathrooms are. In fact,
It's December 4th at 12 p.m.
Okay, and so now we are at Seal Rock. Right there. Right? All right, so there is the sign for Seal Rock. This is still Monterey Peninsula. I think it's still Monterey Peninsula Country Club. Really, that might be the border of it right there. Raft of wandering otters again, and we are at Fanshell Beach Overlook here on 17 Mile Drive. This is spot number 9 and spot number 9 in our 17 Mile Drive tour series. That was a sneeze. By the way, Paul's very first YouTube video ever was called what, Paul?
The sneeze.
The sneeze.
Yeah.
He recorded himself sneezing. So beautiful little overlook here, but Susan discovered an interesting fact about it. You want to go ahead and share?
Yes, Fanshell Beach is one of the primary pupping habitats for harbor seals on the Central Coast.
That's interesting, and now it all kind of makes sense. I'll tell you why. A lot of times when we come here in the spring, I'm going to go ahead and show this. When we come here in the spring, there will be big barriers all the way up here along the road so that people can't even gawk at the seals being the seal puppies and the birthing and all the stuff that goes along with pup season. Woo! So all right, so here is another snooty golf course. All right, so here we are, Fanshell Beach. Not really sure why it's called Fanshell Beach. A raft of wandering otters. We are at stop number 10 on 17-mile drive.
7 more to go.
That's right. Cypress Point Lookout. Any information on it, Mom?
Oh, I didn't read this one. I am. Cypress Point Lookout offers a spectacular spot to catch sunsets thanks to its southwest views. The pure white sand of the beach below is home to harbor seals for, I think we saw those walls up here, which spring, the harbor seals which spring return to bear their young. Closed April 1 to June 1st for pupping season.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I love you like the maple tree, red and orange from summer green. Soon after I see winter snow, springtime sad begins to flow. Like a bird in your tree. I love you like the scrabbly pine, a towering rest for freeloaders and vines. In your shade the owl spits her bones. Create their homes. I'm happy like a bird in your tree. I'm happy like a bird in your tree, like a bird in your tree. The aspen quakes in the wind, the leaves they celebrate.
Raft of wandering otters.
A raft of wandering otters at Crocker Grove, which is point 11 and 6 more to go.
You want to read to us about Crocker Grove?
Crocker Grove is home to the largest and oldest Monterey cypress tree named after Charles Crocker, a railroad baron responsible for building the luxurious Hotel Del Monte in Monterey and the original 17-mile drive in 1881. Pebble Beach contains one of only 2 native Monterey cypress forests in the world. The other across Carmel Bay at Point Lobo State Park.
As a cow bear, I have to cringe when I talk about robber barons because Leyland Stanford Sr. was one of them. And because his son flunked out of Harvard, or Yale, I forget which, probably Harvard. I don't know if you can flunk out of Yale. But as I've said in previous videos, these robber barons went ahead and formed a consortium and formed a partnership to develop Pebble Beach here.
Bird in your tree, like a bird in your tree, like a bird in your tree.
Number 11, Crocker Grove. Beautiful, beautiful cypress trees, I gotta admit. Even if it was created by a robber baron.
New life, your love is my new life. You teach me to see right. Your love is enough. Your love is enough. I can't contain all this joy that I found.
Hi, a raft of wandering otters. I'm going to tell you about point 12, the lone cypress. For more than 250 years, the world-famous lone cypress has braved the elements atop its rocky pedestal overlooking the Pacific Ocean, known as Midway Point, on the original 17-mile drive. This iconic tree has been the logo for Pebble Beach Resorts since its founding in 1919.
What do you say, Paul?
Join us if you like.
Join us if you like.
Those trees at Pescador Point is stop number 13. It might be an unlucky number stop, but it's sure not. And this place ain't haunted a bit. And it's a unique stop full of spooky sun-bleached trees, cypress trees. It's also a legendary big wave surf spot with swells approaching 50 feet in the right winter conditions.
All right.
Good
So
job,
here we
Paul.
are at Pescador Point. Say hi, Susan.
Hi, Susan.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Raft of Wandering Otters.
Right,
I'm gonna look it up. That's
Yeah,
cool. like
I
it.
have a card.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah.
Hi, a raft of wandering otters. This is point 14. Point 14, the Pebble Beach Visitor Center. From its early days as a simple shopping point on a scenic carriage ride, to its emergence as the golf capital of the world, the fascinating story of Pebble Beach is brought to life at the Pebble Beach Visitor Center. The new Visitor Center is a wonderful stop to learn about Pebble Beach history, pick up souvenirs, or grab a refreshment for the drive.
All right.
All right,
What's your favorite memory of coming here?
just the beauty.
Come and see the Canadian people.
Oh, and there's several. The last time we were here, Paul told some people you were from where?
Manitoba, that's right.
Manitoba. He's never been to Canada, but he's from Manitoba. Coca-Cola. Paul, tell us just briefly, why is a Pebble Beach Coca-Cola so special to you?
Glass bottle.
And that's it?
The glass bottle.
What's on the glass bottle?
Pebble Beach.
Yeah, they brand it with Pebble Beach on the glass bottle.
Make sure if you get one for Mom, get me cold one.
Yeah. So 2 cold Coca-Colas coming up. There's an aerial view.
Is that a soaring lake video?
Like at Disney, where they have the soaring over California, no. Yeah. All right, thank you. Restroom? Oh, yeah. Thank you. Well, that's good news. They got stuff on sale. All U.S. Open merchandise on sale, and so look at it. Let's see, $34, so 30% off $34. 70 times 34, make about less than 25 bucks. Not bad. Look, they have cold ones. Switcheroo. You want me to put the other one back for you?
Yeah.
So you can see these have the Pebble Beach logo on them. Pretty cool, huh? ladies and gentlemen. Here we are, Raft of Wandering Otters, and now we are on 17 Mile Drive, part 15. This is the actual Pebble Beach links. So no public golf course in the United States can match the major championship pedigree of Pebble Beach golf links. Built by amateur golfers Jack Neville and Douglas Grant in 1919, Pebble Beach hosted its 6th U.S. Open in June 2019 to go along with the 5 U.S. amateurs, 2 U.S. women's amateurs, and the 1977 PGA Championship. Ranked the number 1 public golf course in America, Pebble Beach Golf Links has also been selected to host the 2023 U.S. Women's Open and 2027 U.S. Open. Learn more about the rich history of Pebble Beach at the Wall of Champions behind the first tee. We will go ahead and see what we can see here at Pebble Beach. Right, gang?
Right.
Right.
Pills are good.
Pills are
good.
good.
A raft of wandering otters. I'm going to read to you about the Pebble Beach Equestrian Center. We're right here. It's beautiful. The Pebble Beach Equestrian Center opened in 1924, just 5 years after Pebble Beach Golf Links. It hosted the U.S. team trials ahead of the 1960 Olympics. Choose from a variety of guided horseback tours that are available daily.
Who knew?
Yeah.
This is probably one of the more welcoming, other than the visitor center.
Right, yes.
One of the more welcoming
Visitors
parts of
welcome.
Pebble Beach proper here. All right, I'm going to go ahead and show you this.
Yes, that's nice. These really pretty horses over here. Otters.
We have a
This
great
is
plan.
point 17, Ford Meadow. Robert F. Ford, 1907 to 1979, knew he was home when he passed by this meadow. A generous donor to the work of the Del Monte Forest Conservancy, the meadow was dedicated to his memory on August 26, 1981.
And here is the meadow. This has been a Raft of Wandering Otters presenting you a tour of 17-mile drive, the road less traveled. Thank you.
That enough?
Hey, there's Perch. Bird Rock Beach is just the cat's pajamas. Paul knows what to do with the litter. I'll bet that sandwich is tasty. Steve's talking up a storm. Hi, Susan. It's sure a big pile of guano. Poor Perch. No, you can't have any today. So long from a raft of wandering otters.